Welcome back to another episode of the Rusty Pilot. This time out, we're going to talk about where should I send my kids to flight school. We've got two kids, 120, 118, that are ready to go to school. One of them would like to go the traditional four-year route and get a degree and get into aviation. The other one would still want to get into it as fast as they can. I kind of talk through my experiences on that this time out. And man, I'll take a lot of advice from the other aviators out there on how they did it with their kids. So let's pick it up at part 91 and 141. You know, one of my kids is way more structured, and the 141 program will probably fit him better. Gonna cost a lot more, gonna slow us down. But at the end of the day, if that's what it takes to produce a pilot that can function and get out and get a job, we'll do that. Now, 90 or 61 rather is a lot more relaxed. You're going to run at your own pace, and if you got a self-starter, and my little bit older, my 20-year-old is that, I think that's probably the better way to go. Now, both these kids will split the difference on buying versus renting. The older child, we've already bought an airplane. It'll be the best way to go for him. And there are a couple of YouTube channels I'll link up to here in the comments that the kids have gotten out and they're flying these planes and just no engine holdback and just going. They're in and out of the system all day. They're grinding. They've got to deal with weather. They've got to deal with getting in a lot of different airports, where if your child goes that 141 program, like my younger one, they're going to go through and be flight instructors, and they're going to go around and around the pattern. And one's not better than the other. One's going to fit one of these kids better than the other. But I think money-wise, if I throw this into a spreadsheet, I think I'd see where buying an airplane, using it, and then selling it probably works out better than renting. I guess we'll segue into the programs. Like, you know, the most famous one's probably ATP. And if you read on Reddit, I mean, this is $100,000 to go do it. Maybe it takes a year to go through. But if you fall behind, they can get rid of you. So you could end up with $40,000 in a private pilot certificate, where you probably should only really have about 10. If you're, you know, I figure if one of my kids was very diligent and could keep up, that would probably be the best way to go, also the most expensive way to go. Now, I went through Louisiana Tech and Delta State, and it took me 5 years, and I wasted a lot of time. I had the full college experience of hanging out and having a good time and thinking about studying every now and then. Dollar-wise, it's probably a crazy waste of money, because I got basically private pilot to CFI done in 12, 15 months at the very end when I had to get out. And my oldest child, that would be, you know, where he would fit into this thing, is right there.
If you got kids and they're exploring how to do this, love to hear from you in the comments. Didn't explore the military route. Um, Probably that deserves its own video. Anybody that's military out there that wants to add how to do that, love to hear about it. But I really tend to lean towards, if you're going to spend $100,000 on one of these kids going and learning to fly, go buy a $70,000 airplane and set aside $30,000 for them to fly it, sell it off at the end. I think you'll be money ahead. I think that them being in and out of the system all the time versus just flying around a traffic pattern, teaching other people how to land an airplane, that's got to ultimately be more valuable. Um, the co-owner in my current airplane is about 30, and he is a jet pilot. And I think he would lean towards what I just said, that the co-pilots that come into flying the jets that he flies typically can't fly the jet if they didn't teach him flight instructing, where somebody that's been out real world flying to collect all 1,500 of their hours usually does a little bit better. That's a whole different video too. Comment below. You know, like and subscribe if you made it this far. I'm about a year and a half into the Rusty pilot project, and this thing's about to really shift as we get the engine in this VTEL. We're going to start taking some long cross countries and a lot more adventuring.